Hey, how we doing? MJS back again with another video here. And so I'm driving. It's not really an irregular thing for me. And I'm driving to Ray's restaurant. It's my grandmother's restaurant where I work on occasion. Kind of indentured servitude, but that's a topic for a different video. Here's what I want to talk about. First, I want to extend a warm welcome to anybody that is new. If you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, anybody new that's following me or subscribed to me on YouTube or whatever, because we've definitely had a little bit of a significant bump here in the last, I would say, week or so. And that is kind of the main topic that I want to talk about, not just how we've grown a little bit, how our audience has grown to some degree, but just the experience that I've had and kind of, just taking the last week or two and kind of chatting about it real quick as I have a couple minutes here, because I think it's beneficial because there's a lot of things that I want to touch on real quick. So the first thing is just a little bit of context. I just decided about 3 or so weeks ago that I just need to talk more. I need to get in front of the camera. I don't care if it's in the car. Obviously, this isn't the best quality. It's decent enough cell phone video. The audio is not up to my standards, but the problem is that this is the time, at least for me, that my head is always going, and I normally have 15 minutes here or there to just chat, right? Staring at the road, chatting to the camera. And that's just what I'm thinking. So that's I think the best time to do that. So that was a decision that I made, and it's worked out pretty well so far, I would say. I produced a few videos, and then I also produced a few videos in my actual office space, which those ones I try to make much higher quality, much more informative, more things on the screen, transitions, stuff like that. I'm by no means a videographer, but I do my best. There's a lot there, and different topics too. What I want to address specifically is the little bit of results that I've had in a short amount of time, just from doing, and kind of my strategy for anybody out there that is watching that wants to do something similar on social media in general. YouTube is the most specific because it has a subscriber count, and you can get notified of when you have a new subscriber, things like that. And that is when you're starting out, it's perhaps encouraging to see that the subscriber count go up, but the bigger thing though is that, and I guess I'll just start here, is you don't make any money on YouTube as far as ad revenue goes. You can make money other ways, but you don't make money on YouTube as far as ad revenue until you reach 4,000 hours of watch time. I believe that's in the last 12 months, and the previous 12 months from now, and 1,000 subscribers. That's not the end all be all, obviously, of YouTube. There's much more that you can do with it. There's people that have obviously tens of millions of subscribers, whatever. But the point is that that's a very entry level milestone that you need to surpass if you want to get monetized, right? Monetization on YouTube. So that's been a goal of mine. And just so recently, that is when I've been starting to actually work much more, strategically towards that goal. And it's really not much of a strategy. I mean, it is just produce more content, post it on several different platforms natively, and see what happens. So I posted a couple of these driving vlogs here, and then I posted the Helium miner video, the Helium Hotspot. That was a lot of good stuff there. And just a couple other big ones. So the point is that I think let's start here. Okay, so if you're gonna start a YouTube channel, or you're gonna start anything, we'll use YouTube, but it could be Instagram, whatever. You need to draw people in, obviously, by being captivating, providing value, being relatively informative, right? Doesn't really matter what it is, just matters that I think that you like it, you enjoy it, you're knowledgeable about it, and you're sharing what you know with other people. So I like to say learn, apply, and share. So you learn something from wherever or several different areas, then you apply it in your life, and then you share it by saying, hey, this is what I learned, this is how I applied it, and what I actually learned from my own experience, this is my whole take on it, tips, tricks, all that sort of stuff, and then you give it to people. I really think it's a great way to go about it, easy way to look at it. I always thought for the longest time that if, I'm learning this from somebody else, else. I can't tell somebody. I'm learning this from Bill. I can't go and tell, you know, Susie about it because I wasn't the one that like figured it out or whatever. I just learned it from somebody else. But that's a stupid way to think about it because that's what life is. I mean, Bill didn't know, you know, in this example, Bill didn't know that when he was born. You know, he learned it from somebody else, and that just cycle continues. So don't have imposter syndrome like that. Make sure that you learn it, you apply it, you share it. Good. So that's my best advice there. But as far as YouTube goes, if you're talking about like an actual strategy to try to acquire a bigger audience, I think the way that you need to do it, just from my experience, is you have your normal types of content that you like to do or that you feel really compelled to do. So I would say that these driving vlogs are just something easy for me to produce, and I really enjoy doing them, and I think they do provide a lot of value. But the problem with it is that I'm just generally going to be talking to a camera with, you know, average quality, and that's not really the level of content that I'd like to produce, but it's still definitely valuable, at least to some, at minimum to some. The trouble with YouTube is that the way that you acquire a new audience is more, because there's so much content, is by kind of standing out. But the bullshit that I hear, that I've heard in the past, is, oh, you have to be like extremely niched down to like one little thing, and you have to be so incredible with your content, or you have to be like this, that, or the other thing to stand out. And that's not really the case. What I actually think, and what you can see if you look at like the last 5 to 10 videos, is I do lives occasionally that get archived on there, which are honestly almost just like me sitting at my computer, almost like a podcast type thing. But I do that, and then I do these little car vlogs, which are, I would say, less. There's definitely less SEO, or less ways to people. They're less attractive, or they come up less in the algorithm to people because they're just kind of random topics. But then, here's the secret sauce. I really think this. The reason that your subscriber count goes up is because you sprinkle in things that bring people, that get you noticed, not make you necessarily stand out, notice, maybe those are synonymous, but they just get you noticed. You just need to get people to like your channel or to know your name in a sense. Because I think that, and maybe my subscribers, if you're watching this one, if this one's interested you, the way that I think about YouTube, the way that I use YouTube, and not everybody's like this, but the way that I use it, and I think a decent amount of people do, if you hit the subscribe button, the way you might use it, is that you find a video, okay? And maybe it's a video on a Helium Hotspot that I just did. You find that video, and you watch that video, and it's informative, and you like the way that I talk, or you like, you don't like me, but you just, it's like, oh wow, Mark seems like he knows what he's talking about, seems like he's a good guy, right? Something like that. And he's informative, and he's gonna update me on the way that this thing that I'm interested in this case, helium miner. So you subscribe to that, and now you have almost like, a little bookmarked, and like you're subscribed to it, so like my new videos should pop up in your subscribe box. Whether or not that ends up working properly is, beside the point, but that should happen. So now you have like direct access to that content whenever it's posted. Now, whether or not you actually decide to watch this video, depending on the title, thumbnails, and all that sort of stuff, is a different thing. But the point is that you got on you as the creator, me in this case, got on somebody's radar by posting something that was more like SEO friendly, or something that people are gonna be searching for, right? They're probably not gonna search for like whatever the title of this video is, maybe like YouTube strategy or something. Maybe they'll get something like this, but I posted another one the other day, which is like random, like we're buying a home, like real vlog type stuff. The idea is to get people in, because everybody is valuable, right? Like everybody has value to provide, but there's so many people that it's difficult to get a random person to realize your value unless you draw them in with these other types of things. I could make 100 videos in a row that are all really valuable, that have just average thumbnails and titles. I actually did this for like 2 weeks in a row. It was like random, you can look back on the channel, it's like daily vlog stuff, and there was definitely some valuable stuff in there. I was kind of just talking about what I was doing, but there was definitely value in there, and maybe a little bit of entertainment. but it didn't get that type of traction that sprinkling these bigger, more, I guess more known topics, more searched for topics in there, because that's what drives people in. So I would say that's the big thing about YouTube and the strategy that I've implemented. So if you're interested in trying to do that, definitely do that. Same type of thing goes for other platforms too. What I've heard for Instagram is just making reels, like using their new features when they come out. That's a big thing. I've tried that. I definitely had some success. Just got to be consistent with that. But again, that's the other thing too, is I would say consistency. It doesn't need to be a specific schedule per se, just trying to consistently put out content. So on YouTube specifically and elsewhere, because then the people will. It's almost just like in real life. If you see somebody consistently, then you guys are gonna have better conversations. You're gonna be like, oh wow, this is, how was this thing that we were talking about last time? How's that going? This, that, and the other thing. So, maybe that's a deeper metaphor there, but that's kind of the way that I feel about YouTube, and I'm happy that we've been seeing a little bit of success here. We've gone up, I think, like roughly, 100 subscribers in the last month or something like that, which small in absolute terms, and but I think we're definitely on the right track there with this. But that's just a quick little strategy. Like I said, I'm at my destination now, so let me know if you want to try something like this. If you have any questions or whatever, do my best to answer them. But I'm going to keep doing this because I love this strategy. We have a ton of content coming. Just as a quick update, ton more content coming. I'm going to update everybody on the stuff that we have going on as far as obviously Helium and stuff like that. The reasons, that's the other thing, is if you draw people in with something, you should probably keep them updated on those types of things because they're interested in those. But I got a lot of stuff going on there. We're buying a house, like I said in the other videos, Amanda and I. So there's a lot of content coming to document all that. But thank you guys so much. If you have subscribed, if you're watching these videos, greatly appreciate it. And like I said, if there's any other questions or value you think that I can provide, or you'd like to see anything based on the other stuff that you've seen, like, and that didn't go enough into enough detail, please let me know. I'd be more than happy. Always looking for ideas of ways to provide that to you guys. So thank you again, and I will talk to you in the next one.